guys, welcome back to Ask Snes. So how are you guys? You alright? Hope everybody's doing well. Not a bad day today. Not too cold, not too hot, just alright. Sun's out. Looking right at the moment, it's quite bright. Wait to see. But yeah, not a lot really going on this week. I'm still working on the game room. Obviously I posted a video about it the other day. Other than that, no, not a lot. I'm just playing a lot of games. I'm currently trying to play through Uncharted 3 again. I'm still trying to find out why people like that game so much. I don't get me wrong, it's a great game. Number 2 is so much better. It's like number 3 starts off really well, and it just sort of goes downhill after that. I don't know. I just can't connect with it like I do with Uncharted 2. Just doesn't hit the spot, and some of the gameplay is pretty annoying as hell. But yeah, still a great game though. Still a solid title. Oh well, anyway, right, we've got loads of questions, so I'm going to get stuck straight in. So, first questions are from Scribble Sam Animation, so cheers Sam. First question is, could you recommend me some NES Famicom games, or NES Famicom games? I can try, but I don't know a lot about the library, mate, to be honest. I mean, the only ones I could really talk about are like the obvious ones, like Batman, which is a fantastic title. Really hard, but absolutely superb. Obviously all the Mario games. I've played Castlevania. I did play all 3 of those Castlevanias. 1 and 3 are brilliant. Number 2 I didn't like at all. It was weird. Didn't like that. I thought it was crap. So I definitely recommend Castlevania and Castlevania 3. They're absolutely fantastic titles. What else did I play on the system at the time? So I didn't have that many games for it, did I? So it's hard to say. I mean, those for definite anyway. Those are all really top titles. All the obvious stuff, really, you know, and things like DuckTales was just supposed to be absolutely amazing. I've only played it on PS3. It's great, so I'd recommend that one. Would you do a video in which you would destroy a console you disliked? E.g., if you had enough money, would you buy another game just to do a video of destroying it in one way or another and upload it to YouTube? No. I don't like those videos, if I'm honest with you, mate. I don't understand. To me, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not right, basically, because it's like, I can't stand when you see these videos when like PlayStation 4 comes out and some dickhead buys it to smash it up. Because at the end of the day, there's people out there who can't afford a PlayStation 4 and would love a PlayStation 4, and for some arrogant arsehole to go, oh look at me, aren't I clever, I'm smashing the console, you're a dickhead. It's as simple as that, you're a dickhead. There's no, it's all this bullshit fanboy crap and I have no time for that, so no, I would never do that. Plus I like my gear so much, why would I want to spend money and smash it, yeah. What are your opinions on the 32X and the Mega CD? 32X, I've only had a brief play with, seems pretty decent. Obviously with the history of it, a little bit pointless. They were just literally just throwing shit at the wall at that point. Mega CD is okay. It has its moments. It's obviously not great, but it has got some gems. I mean, just the fact that it's got a Final Fight on there, that sells it for me. I mean, that game, best port on any home console, hands down. It's absolutely spot on. So yeah, it's not a bad little console. Well, add-on, sorry, not console. It has a few decent titles, Final Fight being the best one, so not bad at all. Do you like Mr. Bean? He was alright. I used to watch him when I was a kid. He was okay. What is your opinion on emulation and the EverDrive? Emulation, as far as MAME is concerned, is fantastic. The other stuff I'm not so keen on. You know, each to their own, whatever you like. The EverDrive though is something that's quite interesting, and that kind of brings me around a little bit, because when I saw Kent Midler on YouTube buy one for the Super Nintendo, and he decided that instead of spending loads of money and buying games, not really knowing if they were worth the money, and I'm certainly paying 60 quid a game, it's quite a big investment. So to buy the EverDrive, to test all the games out, find out which ones he actually enjoys and which ones he actually wants to own, is a lot better, because that way, it's a small investment to start with, and then you can make a list of all the games you want, and then just go and take your time and cherry pick all those games. That is a really wise move, so in that respect, it is a great idea. Obviously it's also good and also for preserving the history of gaming as well, because those games die over the years. Not so much cartridges, because they just seem to go on forever, but obviously CDs and DVDs apparently have got a lifespan on them. We'll wait and see if that's actually true or not, but apparently they have. So those will need to be preserved by emulation at some point. I mean, in a basic form I don't really like it, because it's just, to me it's just not the same. There's nothing better than the physical contact of actually having the proper console, the proper controller, the proper game format, whether it be a CD or a cartridge or a tape cassette or a floppy disk, whatever it might be, and having it on a proper CRT TV and recreating that whole, I think that's what it is about recreating the moment. It's the nostalgia, isn't it? It's just, you know, recreating your childhood, you know, in as much physicality as possible. That's the way, I think that's what it really is. Okay. On the subject of the Everdrive, I know this is a bit of a cliche question, but why didn't they make one for the Atari 2600? Also, why didn't they make one for the Neo Geo, AES and MVS? The Neo Geo would have been logical. Atari, there's not really much point because Ataris are dirt cheap, the games ain't worth nothing, so you can pick them up easily. So I can understand not making one for that. Neo Geo, yeah, that would make a lot of sense because for people like me who just cannot afford to get into Neo Geo, it's just way out of my league. It would be fantastic to be able to try a lot of those titles. Although a lot of them are also available on the MAME emulator as well, so is there really any point? I don't know. I don't know enough about the Neo Geo libraries to really comment on how many games are available on MAME, which ones aren't available, which would make the Everdrive valid or not. You have to really talk to a Neo Geo collector about that. But yeah, it would be a good idea. Do you watch Classic Game Room? I do occasionally, yeah. If so, do you find it a bit cliche that Mark would put a game cartridge in a console that it wasn't designed for? I'd never really thought about it, to be honest. I like his videos, I find the guy quite funny, so I don't watch him regularly. I just like, every now and again, if I'm randomly searching for something, normally he's done a video about it, so I'll just watch that video. But I always like his style and I find the guy quite amusing, so I've never really thought about that, to be honest with you. Okay, very random question, but since you've been asked if you like My Little Pony before, do you like the Care Bears? I did when I was younger, yeah, when I was a kid. When I saw the Care Bears movie when I was a child, I actually realised I thought the Care Bears were great at the time, but I was very, very little. So yeah, as an adult, no. I've never watched the Care Bears thing as an adult. I don't even remember too much about them, to be quite honest. I've got like vague memories, but... Okay, did you... Oh, hang on my eye. Did you used to have a Teddy Ruxpin spin, and if so, did you attempt to put an AC adapter, an AC/DC tape into it and play it? Would you also perhaps play an M&M tape on it? I never had one, no. Never really something that really appealed to me. It's growing up to me. I was more about computers and consoles and electronics, so that kind of stuff didn't really, take my interest. But I must admit, that's a good idea. But I've played some Black Sabbath though, that'd be really cool. What is your opinion on the game Sonic R, and do you think it's as bad as it was hyped to be? I've never played it, so I don't know. I've seen, I think it was Alan, Irish Nerd Life, played it once, and it looked pretty decent. And I'm pretty sure that's the one. It's like the isometric game. Is that the one? I think that's the right one. Looked pretty good to me actually. Didn't look that bad. So I don't know the history, and I can't really comment on that, to be honest, mate. Anyway, cheers, Sam. Thanks for the questions. Right, Mr. Hewitt's up next. So we've got a shitload of questions. So get comfortable. Right. Have you seen Cardi Chris videos? No, not yet. Right, okay. And when you were talking about Rare, I thought you'd mentioned Diddy Kong Racing. Would you like to see it on the Wii U? Absolutely, yeah. On the Virtual Console, brilliant game. Why not? They should just redo that. Do a new one, Diddy Kong Racing 2. Do that on the Wii U in a proper disc format. That'd be awesome. I really like that game a lot. Have you ever played basketball against the kangaroo? No. I must be missing something. I am missing something there. Would you ever buy an espresso machine? Nah. Ponzi coffee? Nah. If I want Ponzi coffee, I'll go to Starbucks. Do you still work in admin? Not at the moment, no. But when I go back to work, yes. And that's the plan. That's pretty much all I know. Have you ever thought about opening a retro game physical shop? Yeah, many a time. I'd love to. It's just not... I don't know how you do it, to be honest. I mean, you've got to get bank loans and things, and it's just really complicated and difficult, and yeah, I don't even know, because if you have a physical shop, you still have to sell online as well. You can't just be brick and mortar because you won't make any money. You know, in this modern world, you have to open yourself up to everybody around the whole globe in order to make any cash. But yeah, if I had sort of partner who's more business focused and understood all that, that'd be fantastic. I could do the game selling, no problem, but the actual business side of things, I don't really understand it all. Right, okay. Say the following. Are you a karma farmer, now you set an alarm, alarmer? Are you a karma farmer, now you set an alarm, alarmer? Okay. Do you drink wine? No. I don't get the whole wine thing. It's Ponzi basically. It's just like, I don't know where that came from. All of a sudden everybody was like, oh, we've got to drink wine. It's like, oh, piss off. I can't say all that bullshit about, I'm going to go home tonight and have a glass of wine. What? This ain't France. Piss off. You know, have a beer. You know, drink like a British person. Have a WKD. Don't drink a bleeding glass of wine. And when will we hear more about Star Fox U? I would assume at E3, mate. That's the most logical. I don't even know if they've got a partner. They were looking for a partner last year to help them develop the game quickly, so it'd be done by the end of next year. So hopefully they have. I haven't looked into it for a while, so yeah, I would assume E3. Why is the Wii U so downtrodden? Because Nintendo's marketing's crap. They called it a silly name. They didn't bring enough games out for it. They screwed up the third party. Where else do you want to go? Yeah, that's why basically it's got a bad reputation, because most people don't. The average consumer wouldn't have a clue what it is. I keep hearing stories from people that they hear people in shops just don't know what a Wii U is. They still think it's an add-on for the original Wii, a peripheral. So until Nintendo actually realise that their marketing is shite and they actually get off their arse and advertise it properly. I saw an advert not long ago, I think it was a Skylanders advert, and the whole advert was a kid using the Wii U gamepad with the Skylanders characters, and they made no mention of the Wii U in the whole advert. All they mentioned was the Wii, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? It was terrible. So yeah, their marketing department needs shooting. Have you got any cats in the neighbourhood that come into your house? There are a couple, but I haven't seen them for a long time. There used to be two, a big fat like tabby thing and a black one as well with evil green eyes. The black one's the only one's ever come in once. He just kind of stares at you and walks away. But yeah, they don't really see him that much. I saw the black one the other day and the tabby a couple of weeks back, but they don't really come around, so I don't know if one of them's died or something. Who knows? Would you ever consider buying a broken retro console to repair it? If I knew how to, yeah. If it's basic stuff like PlayStation 1, like the CD drive's not working on Xbox, that's easy because you just clean the lens and it tends to usually work. Unless it needs a new laser or something, and that's a bit different. The older consoles are a lot easier to work with, I find, than the modern consoles. I'd be more inclined to give them a shot because I might have a chance of working out what's wrong with it. If it involves soldering, I'm screwed because I can't solder. But yeah, just basic stuff I can do, like changing 72-pin connectors and all that kind of very basic repairs. I can do all that stuff. Right, the next question is, would you keep the console from Question 12 or would you sell it? Depends what it is. If it was a console that I found at a car boot for £2 and it was worth 50 quid on eBay and I could repair it, I'd repair it and sell it if I already had it. If it was like a Neo Geo AES and I go for a fiver and it was a simple repair, then obviously I'd keep it. But if you're talking something else, like even if it's like a Super Nintendo, because they go for about 20-30 quid sometimes, so yeah, I'd probably end up selling it on. Ever consider the Atari Flashback 1, 2, 3 or 4? No. Simple answer. Have you ever thumbed down a video? No, not intentionally. I've accidentally thumbed down videos in the past when I've slipped with the mouse, and it happens quite easily. Like when especially with Google Chrome anyway, because all the adverts and shite, and even with bloody ad blocker, it seems to do it. I hate that thing when like if you're using a tablet or something or any kind of mobile device, and the bloody page shifts itself and moves down as you go to tap on something, you hit the wrong thing. I've done that so many times. But if I ever do that, I automatically go back and click thumbs up. I've never intentionally thumbed down a video because I just do not see any point in it. It's dumb. What is the meaning of game? I think it's sad so many high street game shops are lost. Yeah, what is the meaning of game? Overpriced, crap staff, pointless shop. Yeah, I don't like game at all, it's pointless. The pricing is ridiculous, it really is. They've learned nothing at all. They went under, they saved a bit of the business and they still learned nothing, so they don't deserve to succeed. Did you ever visit a Sega Park arcade? I've got no idea, mate, I don't know what that is. Ever considered releasing a bloopers video? No, because there really aren't that many, because I tend to edit them and dump them. So it's usually me just swearing and getting pissed off because I've messed up my lines. Messed up my lines, it's not an act. You know what I mean? If I start talking and I just go off on a tangent, or I just completely freeze up, you know, and I do it like 4 or 5 times and I'm like, and I get really stressed out. How much are capture cards? I was looking at them the other day and you're asking the wrong person there, mate. I don't know anything about them. I've seen a couple for 60, some for 100. I don't know anything about capture cards, but it is something I want to look into in the future. See them going cards in game? Not yet. I still haven't been downtown yet. And what's the best video game compilation? No idea. Not a clue. I know there's a few on the PS2 that are pretty decent, but offhand I haven't got a clue, mate. You're decorating, the pot of paint is teetering above LFC Gamer, or a lifetime supply of ostrich eggs. Jesus Christ. Which do you push it towards? I don't know how much ostrich eggs are worth. I can't even say that word. So I just chuck them on the eggs. I'll probably regret that, but there you go. Aldi do amazing cured meats. I agree. But what else of theirs do you enjoy? They're crisps. They're really nice. They're chips, as the Americans call them. They're absolutely fantastic. So I definitely recommend them. I don't shop in Aldi enough to know really what's good, but I know that the crisps are absolutely spot on. Also, their milk's pretty decent as well. That's one problem with Morrison's. Their long life milk is disgusting. It's way too creamy. Which is a pain in the arse because I shop in Morrison's the most, so I have to go to Morrison's to get my food, and then I have to go to either Aldi or Tesco to get my long life milk, which is a pain in the arse. Right, meat and 2 veg is a classic combo. Agree? Yeah, of course. Meat and veg always good. I think Nintendo Wii U is a Super Nintendo 2. What do you think of that? It will exist until almost 2020. Not likely. I think you'll be lucky to get another couple of years out of it, to be honest. I think you might get 2, maybe 3 more years, and that'll be it. It'll be done. I think they're going to be already looking into moving on to the next console. You know, they're probably already figuring out ideas of what they're going to do, which is nothing new because all people, Sony and Microsoft do that. As soon as they release a console, they're working on the next one anyway. But yeah, I don't think the Wii U is a SNES 2 at all, not even close. I don't think they've ever made a console since the Super Nintendo that has matched that console. The Nintendo and the Super Nintendo are the best consoles they've ever made. The N64, the GameCube, great consoles. They've got a handful of nice games. The Wii U, same thing. The Wii, the same. They're not. The library of amazing games on Nintendo and Super Nintendo far outweigh what you get on all the other Nintendo consoles, in my opinion. I'm now going to get loads of comments with loads of games listed saying, no, you're actually wrong. Well, yeah, it's just my opinion. So, would you consider Ellen Page as a good driving instructor? No idea, mate. Random. Why do you keep asking about my car? Well, I'm not answering any more questions about my car. Where did question 21 go? I don't know. Where did it go? Oh, hi. Okay. Next question is from LFC Gamer. How does it feel to reach 4,000 subscribers, and would you do anything special for this occasion? It feels pretty bloody amazing, mate. Don't talk too much about that because I have got a video I'm going to be posting about my 4,000 subscribers. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. It's pretty bloody awesome, to be honest. In terms of doing something special, I really don't know what I can do. I don't want to say too much because obviously I'll just be repeating myself in the video I'm going to post. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I'm really pretty blown away at the moment. Have you played any of the Turrican games on the 64 or the C64 or the Amiga? Yeah, I played them when I was a kid. I didn't play Turrican 3. I think I only played 1 and 2, and I absolutely adore those games. I've got Turrican 1 over there for the Amiga. I had to buy it back, and I will get an Amiga eventually, I'm sure. But those games are some of my favourites from back in the day, so yeah, awesome games. What do you think of the Genesis does what Nintendo don't commercials? Are you a massive SNES fan? I am a massive SNES fan, but I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was absolute pure genius by Sega. And I wish that companies would do it now. I wish Sega and Microsoft would do it. You know, Sega and Microsoft, where did that come from? Sony and Microsoft. Jesus, that was a bit weird. Yeah, Sony's done it a bit in the past, but more in America they have a dig at Microsoft than they do over here. We don't really get that many adverts over here. They're very just basic commercial adverts for games. We don't really get console ads as much where they're slagging each other off. It's more just like, this console's amazing, go and buy it. And I do miss that. You know, as I say, the original Xbox had a really cool advert, which you can find online, which was just absolutely awesome, where the woman gives birth and fires the baby out, and it goes all the way through the sky and hits the grave. It was just absolutely hilarious. Sony had some absolutely fantastic PlayStation 1 adverts. It's just a real shame that now they just don't really push them as much. You know, the PS3 ads in America are absolutely awesome, especially when they're taking the piss out of Kinect and everything. I thought that's hilarious, and I wish we had more of that, definitely. But being a Super Nintendo fan, I was never offended by anything like that. I found that quite funny. The difference is when we were kids, it was a bit of banter. I hate that word, but it was a bit of fun. You know, whether you were a Commodore Spectrum or Amstrad kid, or you were a Sega kid or Nintendo kid, it was just having a dig at each other and just, you didn't take it seriously. It seems these days, the kids, and I don't know if it's because of the internet culture or what it is, but they take it way too seriously, like some kind of war situation. It's like, calm down, it's just a console. Right, next one. I've lost myself now. Right. Have you seen both the John Lewis and Sainsbury's Christmas adverts? Yeah, I have, and they're crap. I think all the Christmas adverts are really bit shit this year. I don't get this whole, why we have to have such a massive, overdone advert just for a bloody supermarket. It's like, yeah, it's Christmas and you're selling your food, great. It's not necessary. I don't know. I don't see the point in it at all. I don't know. This Sainsbury's one, the World War I video, I find that hilarious. Apparently, from what I saw from Dave Longby posts, everybody's hating on it. that bit advert. I don't hate it. I just think it's ridiculous because it's unrealistic, and it just, I can't stand when they gloss over war like that, and it's all this really nice, pretty war situation. It's like, oh, they played a game of football and they gave each other presents and it's lovely. Yeah, but they killed each other afterwards. You know, so it's like, it's war for Christ's sake. It's not pretty. Don't try and, you know, don't try and make it nicer than what it actually was. Anyway, what is the weather like in Weston? At the moment, it was alright, but it's gone a bit dull now. But it's alright, very cold. Sun comes out, the sun was killing me earlier. It's like, you couldn't see it was that bright, but yeah, not bad. Do you like being rickrolled, or would you rather eat a snail covered in blue cheese? I've no idea what the hell any of this means. I've got no idea, mate. What is your best multiplayer moment? Probably still Call of Duty. Medal of Honor, Rising Sun. And I got drunk with my mates, and we were playing the local multiplayer with the one-shot pistol. Best thing ever. Absolutely awesome. Who do you think the best looking Spice Girl? Well, for me, when I was growing up, it was Mel B. I used to love Scary Spice. I thought she was fit. It used to go, I think, if I remember rightly, it was Mel B, Baby Spice. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, it was Scary, Baby, Sporty, and then Ginger or Posh. I didn't give a shit about, and I still don't. So, whichever order, probably go Ginger then Posh, because I've moved down a lot of Victoria Beckham at all. I don't find her attractive. She's too skinny. Yeah. Nowadays, nowadays I've changed. I'd probably go like Mel C, Emma, Mel B, and then Ginger and Posh. Anyway, as well as Super Famicom, what other Japanese consoles do you like the look of? There are a couple. PC Engine, definitely. I've always been interested in that. Another one is the Sega Mark III, which I really like the look of that console. It looks fantastic. I really like the Master System anyway, and if I was to ever go back to the Master System, that would probably be the way to go. I'd really like to get a Japanese version. So yeah, those two really. What is the worst name for a Mega Man Robot Master? No idea, mate. I don't know any of the names of the robots, so I can't answer that. Right, okay. Ellen Page or Lara Croft, and who do you think has the best jugs? Depends which Lara Croft. Are you talking old school PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 Lara Croft, or are you talking modern Lara Croft, where she looks normal? I'll probably still go with Ellen Page. She's more my type. Obviously, the jug situation, you've got to be talking Lara Croft, but lately, she's looking more natural. When it comes to dating or being in a relationship, do you agree that personality is more important than looks? Of course, absolutely. Initially, no. Of course, looks are more important. And anyone who says that it's not important and personality matters the most when they first meet someone is talking bollocks. I hate when people say that. It's such a bullshit cliche. Because when you first meet someone, your brain goes, they're attractive. You know, it's as simple as that. You have no control over it. You're either attracted to them or you're not. It's only when you get to talk to the person that you actually find out if you're actually truly attracted to them and the personality matters. Because that's when the connection comes. It's all right being pretty, but if they've got no brain, who cares? It's not important. I want someone I can have a conversation with that's intelligent. You know, they don't have to be super intelligent, they have to have some kind of intelligence. I don't want someone who's completely thick. You know, I want someone I can actually talk to about a range of subjects and have a conversation with on a daily basis, as well as just talking up to crap and just having a pointless conversation, you know. But yeah, obviously personality is absolutely key for a long-lasting relationship. But initially, when you first meet someone, the important thing is what they look like. It always is. Right, okay, next question. What is your favourite song from 1999? Baby One More Time. God, classic. Have you played Rise of the Robots on the Super Nintendo? And it's a very bad fighting game, but with kick-ass music. I don't know if I played it on the SNES. I think I played it on the Mega Drive. I know I've played it at some point, and I thought it was pretty bloody awful. But I don't remember too much about it, to be honest with you. If you were a cartoon character, who would you be and why? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, that's a good one, mate. Homer Simpson, because life's a lot simpler. Yeah, you haven't got a lot to really think about because he's not the brightest spark, and he can just shut off from the whole. That's the only problem. Sometimes, well, the world can just get too much, and you just don't want to listen to it. So just to be able to just be completely oblivious would be nice. What is your favourite flavour of pot noodle? used to be chicken and mushroom, but at the moment it's going to be the jerk chicken, because that is just unbelievable. Jerk chicken, pot noodle, mango sauce, absolutely amazing. I love the Bombay Bad Boy, but the problem with that is it chili sauce? I think you got. When you put the chili sauce in, it's way too hot and it just takes all the flavour out and it just destroys you. So, but it is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, at the moment it's Jamaican jerk. I absolutely love that one. Other than gaming and music, what are your other hobbies? Making YouTube, obviously, videos. Watching a shitload of American TV. Going for walks, like doing that. My cycling's tapered off a little bit because of the weather, which is not good enough. I need to get out there and start making excuses just because it's crap. But those are the main things, really. I'm not... Yeah, this is the main hobby, really, is all this, videos and gaming. When you were a kid, did you want to be on Blue Peter? No, to be honest, I didn't. I never really thought about it. When I was older, I wanted to be on Blue Peter because of Connie Hook, but that's a different story. What is the most amount of calories you've consumed in one day? I have no idea. I don't count. A shitload though, because when I'm on a Pringles moment, or got cakes and crisps and biscuits and God knows what else, then yeah, especially Christmas time, it's not good. Are you going to be a good boy for Santa? Of course, I'm always a good boy for Santa. Right, thanks for the questions, mate. Next question from Graham McLean. Have you ever thought of making a top 10 survival horror game episode? To be honest, mate, I don't know enough about the survival horror genre. I'm very limited. I've only really played games like Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I don't have a broad knowledge of that genre, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to do that. I only want to speak on it if I know about it, and I don't really know too much about that. Thanks for the question, though. The bleeding dogs have started again. I've had that for a few weeks now. A couple more questions from Mr. Hewitt. And do you ever read the questions before recording the video? Not usually. I try and avoid them because I want to make sure it's fresh when I do the video. I want an honest reaction to the questions. Occasionally, if I'm reading my emails, I might see the odd question. Like I saw this question the other day. But that's it, really. Generally, I just ignore the comments. When I'm going through my comments and I'm replying to them, if I see any questions, I'll just go straight past them, because I'd much rather do it off the cuff, just answer them, not knowing what I'm going to get, which is why sometimes I can't answer the questions because I haven't prepared, but I do the best I can. Would you see yourself ever buying digital games? One day you may not have a choice for the current gen. No, never. I can't. Well, I shouldn't say never because you don't know, but I would hope not. When the games consoles go fully digital, I won't be buying the console. It's as simple as that. I won't have any interest to buy them, so probably not, no. Have you ever thought about purchasing a Postman Pat fancy dress costume? That's a bit random, but no, I haven't. What's the rudest question somebody has ever asked? I.e. someone saying you're silly or something like that. I haven't really had any rude questions yet, mate. Everyone's pretty polite, which is good. Yeah, and if I had any rude questions, I wouldn't really reply to them. I don't have time for replying to dickheads, so, Have you ever considered a radical change in career? Yeah, all the time. I'm always thinking about that. Me and Alex Blue Tonic 78 talk about it a lot. It's just knowing what to do. That's the problem I have. I don't know how to. I would love to be like some of these people on The Apprentice who have just got a vision, and nothing can stop them. They just go forward and they just do it. I always think about the what ifs. What if that happens? What if this happens? That's why I've never started my own business or anything like that, because I'm always thinking about what if it goes tits up and I don't end up in major debt to the bank and all this kind of thing. It's really hard. I don't even know what I could do, because I'm crap at physical labour. It's not me at all. All I know is admin. That's all I've ever done. When I was a kid, when I come out of school and everything, I had factory jobs and just bullshit jobs. The stuff that you always do, like packing crap and just working in coffee handle factories and stuff like that, which was horrible. I hated it. Factory life was not for me at all. And then obviously I went to offices, and office work is really where I'm best at. I'm good at admin. I can do that. I can work in a team and I can get on well with people. I can help people out. I can work to targets and all the kind of stuff that you have to do in an office, which I really enjoy, and I like doing it. And I like it when I've got a lot of work as well. I much prefer an office where there's just an absolute pile of work, there's a deadline, and I'm just not stopping, because I can't stand it when you go to work and you're just sitting there doing nothing, or when the systems go down and you're just twiddling your thumbs, because all I'm doing is clock watching, waiting to go home. I can't stand that. It pisses me off. But in terms of career, I would love to try something completely and utterly different. I just have no idea where to start. I'm completely clueless, and it really pisses me off, to be honest. Right, next question. Have you ever considered... sorry, that's the last one. I currently am in a situation where I have 3 Super Nintendo controllers, of which only one is fully working. Super Nintendo controllers on eBay seems really pricey. Is it best if I fix them? If you can fix them, yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, all the retro stuff now, you're going to end up paying through the nose because people are just taking the piss. Especially with certain consoles like Snes and Neo Geo and all that. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. But if you can fix it, mate, yeah, absolutely, it'd be the best way to do it. And I've just reset the bloody screen. I'll take that auto switcher off. It's a pain in the arse. Right, I got to find out where the questions were. Right, there we go. And the next question is, did you look up the greatest adventures of the Little Bell Toll Cut? Not yet. I haven't had a chance, but I'm sure I will at some point. I say that all the time. I never do, but I'll try. Right, thanks, mate. Oh, we've got some questions from Stu Skunkworks. Hello, Stu. Alright, so we've got 17 questions from my good mate Stu. So Mr. Skunkworks asks, if you add up all the time you've played video games and the characters that you were controlling at the time, what are your top 3 characters you spent the longest playing as? For me, number 1 would definitely be Ken, number 2 Mario, and number 3 Link. I would say number 1 was Ryu, because I've played Street Fighter so many times. And then I would say number 2 is Mario, because of all the games I've played. And number 3 would probably be Fox McCloud, because I've sunk so much time into Star Fox over the years, and I still do. I was only playing it a couple of days ago. I absolutely adore that game. So yeah, those 3. It was announced yesterday that an Independence Day sequel is now confirmed, but that Will Smith will not be in it. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, I've heard a lot about this for a few months now on AMC, that it looked like Will Smith was not going to be in the film. I don't know if there's really any need to make a sequel anyway. They were talking about making a couple of sequels. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3. I don't know if they've just confirmed 1 now. I don't think it matters that Will Smith's not in the film. I don't really think it's going to make much difference because they can just change the timeline and move forward. And if they wanted to, they could just bury Will Smith at the beginning of the film and say he's dead. From what I've been hearing, and I don't know what the truth is, but apparently he's been a bit of a bastard with like making films. He's been a bit demanding, which is a little ridiculous because he hasn't made a good film in a long time. His career's not as good as it used to be. He's not the big A-list star he used to be. Some would argue he still is, but quite frankly, he hasn't made any top-notch films in a long time. I love Will Smith's films. I watch all of them. He's brilliant. It's a shame he's not going to be in it. I just don't think it's necessary. I'll be interested to. I really like the original. You know, it's cheesy, but I really like it. It's a fun film. As long as Jeff Goldblum's in it, I'll be happy because he's just awesome. But if they just did it as a complete reboot and just dumped the whole cast, you know, and just put a load of new people in it and just, you know, they could just do it in the future and. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like the aliens are going to come back, or we're going to attack the aliens. I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah, I'd be interested. I'll wait and see the trailer. I saw the trailer on a side note. I saw the trailer for Jurassic World yesterday. Didn't think much of that. I was kind of disappointed. Don't know what I was really expecting, but I thought the dinosaurs didn't look particularly amazing. They didn't look any better than what we got in the original movies, and considering the technology now, I thought they'd look phenomenal. But they just looked alright. The genetically modified dinosaurs, I'm not too sure about that. I just thought that. The whole concept was a bit like, yeah, it's alright. Didn't really blow me away. Maybe the next trailer will be better. You never know. Next question. What is your most played game, most watched movie, most listened to song, most listened to album, and most read book? Christ alright, Stu. Most played game will be Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Most watched movie, it's probably still going to be, what's it called? Oh, Christ. Will Smith film, Gene Hackman. What's that bloody film called now? Yeah, you all know what it is and you're screaming at me, I know, but I can't think what it's called. Oh, that's so annoying, my mind blanks. I've got it on DVD or Blu-ray downstairs. I'm using DVD. Yeah, I've watched that film absolutely tons of times. I was really obsessed with it, with the whole conspiracy thing. It's a fantastic movie. What's that bloody film called? Oh, I don't know, it'll come back to me in a minute. God, that's annoying. My brain just went. Most listened to song. I don't know. At the moment, it's going to be "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift. I listen to it pretty much every day. I'm obsessed with it. That or "How Could I Want More" by Jamie Lynn Spears, which I absolutely love that song. Most listened to album at the moment is Taylor Swift 1989. I'm just rinsing that album. Most read book. I don't know, to be honest with you. To be honest, I haven't, because all the books I've got I've probably just read once. I don't think there are any that I've read more than once at the moment. If I'm not someone who can just go back and read a book over and over again, it's kind of like when you've read it, you've read it. I don't know, I find it difficult to do that. What is that bloody film called? Enemy of the State, that's the one. Christ, God, that's annoying, that is. I hate when you can't think. Next question. You're woken in the middle of the night by Susan the Hair Fairy, okay, who tells you can magically get your hair back, but it has to be by the hair of another YouTuber. Whose stolen hairstyle? Whose hair and hairstyle would you choose? Jesus Christ. Probably Stu Ninja Bear, because he's got a really good head of hair. I'd probably go with that one. Yeah, that's dangerous, like saying stuff like that. Someone will do a bloody meme or something. Right, okay. Did you own a GameCube when it was current gen? I did, yeah. I think it's an underrated console, which, while not as good as the NES or the SNES, is probably Nintendo's best console outside of those two. Mario Sunshine, Wind Waker, Pikmin, Monkey Ball, Luigi Mansion. What are your thoughts on the good old cube? You're probably right, actually, mate, to be honest. It's got a really good, solid catalogue of games. And I only had it briefly at the time, but I actually fell in love with the GameCube at the time. I had the Platinum Cube, and I remember playing Mario Sunshine and being absolutely blown away with it. I never managed to finish the game, unfortunately. I'd like to do that one day. But I remember the one level in particular that stood out for me. I can't remember what it was called. But it's a level where there's like metal gratings, like you've got a Mario world where you can flip back and forth, and you're climbing up those, and I just love that. I thought the whole Mario Sunshine thing was brilliant. I love the water backpack thing. I thought that was really cool. I just don't know, the whole vibe of that game was absolutely spot on. The GameCube's got some really solid titles. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably agree with you, because the GameCube's better than the N64. The N64's got some decent titles, and obviously it's got the rare games which are awesome. But the GameCube's better. I'd definitely say it's better than the Wii. Wii U, it's hard to say at the moment, because Wii U's got some fantastic titles coming up, and we don't know what's coming in 2016 and 2017, so we'll wait and see. But at the moment, as it stands, yeah, I would probably say the GameCube is the third best console, yeah. Assuming you don't have any tattoos that you've never mentioned, I haven't, no. Would you ever consider getting one, and if so, what and where? I have considered having one. I just would never do it because I can never decide what I want, and it'd have to be something really individual for me. I refuse to have one of these fashion tattoos because I can't stand the bloody things. If you're going to have a tattoo, it has to be something that means something. There's just no point otherwise. It would probably be on my arm, or I don't know. Yeah, probably just on my arm, because I don't like the shoulder tattoo like Beckham. I don't like anything that's like fashion tattoos like that. You know, that cool, like women who have them at the lower back, that got done to death. Same on the stomach there, that got done to death, around the navel and all that kind of it. Yeah, so it would probably just be on my arm. My mate had a really nice dragon tattoo all down there once. It was beautiful. But yeah, I'm too indecisive. I know as soon as I had it done, I'd want it changed, or I'd want to get rid of it, so I just wouldn't. No, it's too risky for me. Piercings were a lot easier for me. At least you could just change them when you wanted. My favourite game remake of all time is the GameCube remake of Resident Evil. What is yours? GoldenEye on the Wii. I absolutely love that game. It was more of a reimagining than a remake, but I absolutely love the way they took the original concept and they fleshed it out and just expanded the levels. For me, it works perfectly. The only problem with that game is it's not a game where you can drop in and out of each level. It just feels disjointed if you do that. I find it works a lot better if you just work from the beginning of the game to the end of the game every time you play it. It's just so good. And the controls method with the nunchuck and the Wiimote, so good. And it looks beautiful as well. I don't like it on PS3 and 360. I don't think they added the HD graphics made the game better. I actually think it made the game look worse because the engine isn't that good anyway. Whereas on the Wii, it looks suitable in that graphic style. It's almost cel-shaded in a way as well, and it's just a brilliant game. I love it. What are some of your favourite sitcoms? Do you watch Red Dwarf, Fools and Horses, Fawlty Towers, Black Books, etc.? Sitcoms nowadays, I can't even think of any that I watch because there really aren't any. Like back in the 80s, as you say, like Fawlty Towers and Fools and Horses were some of the best. I mean, Fools and Horses to this day, I can watch reruns of that all the time. Is that an Americanism, reruns? It is, isn't it? I think it is. I don't know what we call them. I'm trying to think. Repeats, that's what we call them, isn't it? Yeah, Christ. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, yeah, I love that show, so I can watch that anytime. It's fantastic. Fawlty Towers is another one. It's just genius. A Low, I absolutely love that show. Brilliant. So all the classics, really. Anything nowadays. The only one I can think of is Just Going Out with Lee Mack, which is alright. It's not really my kind of thing, but yeah, I did watch about the first 10 minutes of Open All Hours the other night, the special with Jason. God, David Jason. What do I think? My brain. Yeah, I thought it was crap. It was really cringeworthy. And I love David Jason, but I just couldn't watch it. It was terrible. As we all know, the ZX Spectrum is a far superior console. It's not a console, it's a computer for a start, and no, it's not. To the Commodore 64, it's not in any way, shape, or form better than the 64. You favoured the C64 though. Did you have one back in the day, and why was it such a good machine, and what were some of your favourite games on it? Yeah, I had my dad's, what they call the bread bin, the brown one, first of all. It's my first ever system. And then after that, when the C64, was it C64 Plus? I can't remember what it was called. It was the Light Fantastic pack. I had that for Christmas one year, which was just awesome. It's just, for me, it was always a better computer growing up because it had better graphics, it had a much better colour palette. Like the Amstrad, it had proper colours. Unlike the Spectrum, which was like green, yellow, blue, red, and it just looked an absolute mess. The music on the C64, you can't argue with that. The C64 music destroys the Spectrum. It's absolutely awesome. The sound chip in that thing was just so good. And the games just amazing, like Hunchback, Bruce Lee, you know, Iridium, like Kirby Warriors, although the Amiga version was better. The Last Ninja games, what else did I play? The problem is I had literally hundreds of games back then, and then trying to remember a lot of them is really difficult for me. Two that really stood out were Armalite and Hawkeye, which I absolutely love. Hawkeye was a fantastic title. So those alone, for me, were the best games. Renegade, Target Renegade in particular, the best one. Renegade 3 is bloody shit. Terrible game. Time travel, don't ever do time travel, it always makes it bad. But yeah, Target Renegade, one of the outstanding games. They were good on Spectrum, they played well. Don't get me wrong, the Spectrum games played well, they just looked like shit. So anyway, as I say, banter, not getting angry. Are you short-sighted or long-sighted? I don't know the difference, if I'm absolutely honest. I can't remember, the optician did tell me, but I can't see distance, so whichever that one is. I think it's my left eye is weaker than my right eye. My right eye is fine, it's got perfect vision. My left eye is slightly weaker than my right eye, so I have to wear glasses to take the strain off when watching TV or to see distances. I've never been a big fan of Strider, but I do really like One Save on the SNES, great game, which is a Strider clone. Can you think of any games you like which is a clone of a game you don't like? Not offhand, Stu, to be quite honest with you, mate. That's a bit difficult. I can see why you don't like Strider, because it's not an easy game to get into. It's a great game, but I think unless you played it when you were younger, and you have that affinity with the Mega Drive version or the arcade version, it's not going to be as impactful. At least I find it to be. I really like the game, but I don't like it or don't love it like other people that like, say like Retro Gamer Daz, who runs Retro Gamer magazine. He absolutely adores that game, and obviously it's got a lot of nostalgic value attached to it as well, I would assume. So for me, yeah, Run Saber is a better game. I love Run Saber. I thought it was a fantastic title. I don't know, to be honest. I'm trying to think what games have I got that were clones. To be honest, Joe, I can't. I'll probably have to go with the same because I can't think of anything. If you're on the Game Over Greggy show, tell everyone to watch it. Yeah, go and watch Game Over Greggy show on Kinda Funny. YouTube.com/Kinda Funny or kindafunny.com. They're absolutely brilliant. I've just lost the question. What would your topic be for discussion? That is really hard, mate. I don't know how they keep coming up with topics, to be honest. I mean, I had one which was Tiffany or Debbie Gibson. But Nick Scarpino didn't want to do that, he ignored my tweet. That would have probably alienated Tim though, because Tim's a bit younger and he probably wouldn't know who they were. Other than that, probably something like the differences between Americans and the rest of the world, or how do Americans view the rest of the world, is something I'm really interested in. You know, how do they see like the British and the Europeans, and what are their opinions of us? Because I find that fascinating. I find it fascinating to hear other countries' opinions of other countries, because obviously we all have these cliched stereotypes that we are, believe to be true, which when you come on the internet are not true at all. And I know a lot of Americans and Canadians from watching videos and talking to people, and they're nowhere near nothing like what the stereotypes say Americans are like. They're completely different. In fact, Americans are more like us, I find. They're a lot like British people. We seem quite close, which is really good. That's probably why we get on so well. Rank the PlayStation 1, 2, 3 and 4 in order, best to worst. Best to worst, right. It's hard, you can't include the PS4 because the PS4 is only a year old and there's no games for it that really show what it's got to offer at the moment. But, if I'm honest, best PlayStation 1, Second best, PlayStation 3. Yeah, it's going to have to... You know what, I was going to put number 2 at the end, but no, it's going to have to be 1, 3, 2 and 4. That would probably be the way I'd go. Because when I think about it, PlayStation 4 has not got enough titles to really justify it having a good position at this moment. And PlayStation 2 has got a shit ton of titles, and it's got a lot of games that I really enjoy, so yeah. But for me personally, the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 3 are more preferable. I prefer those consoles, they're awesome. Keaton or Bale as Batman? Bale. I like the deep voice and the grittiness. Nicholson or Ledger as Joker? Nicholson. I didn't think much of Ledger at all. I think he's overrated. Batman and Batman Returns, or Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises? Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises. More gritty, dark, mature. Just really well shot. I felt like the Keaton movies, as good as they were more comic book movies, where the Nolan movies are more serious. Like they were more movie. They weren't doing the old let's make it a comic book. You know, they were trying to take the subject seriously and treating it as if like it's perfectly normal for a billionaire to run around in a bat suit and no one bats an eyelid. No pun intended. But do you ever watch shows like QI? Have I got news for you, or would I lie to you? I watch all 3 of them, mate. QI not so much. It's only occasionally when I'm just flicking the channels and catch it, because I do actually quite like that. It's quite funny, and it's nice to sharpen the brain a little bit watching that one. Would I lie to you? I really enjoy it. It's really funny. David Mitchell and Lee Mack are awesome. Rob Brydon's really funny as well. Have I got this for you? Has gone downhill dramatically in this particularly last year it did anyway, but this year as well. I just feel as though Paul Merton he can't be bothered anymore. Some weeks he does, he really makes an effort, but most weeks he just seems to be sitting there getting the cash, just taking the check. Ian Hislop's a bit of a dickhead. He's such a lefty knobhead sometimes. And I swear I don't know who he's going to vote for next year, because he seems to hate everybody and he can be a right prick. But it's just not as funny as it used to be. It used to be really good, and it all comes down to who hosts the show nowadays, whoever the guest host is. If they're a good one, then it's alright, then it can be really funny. But you know, if you have David Mitchell or if you have what's her name, Joe Brand, they tend to be really, really good hosts. But sometimes they have terrible hosts and it just doesn't work at all. So it all depends, and you have to have good panellists as well. You know, getting people like Farage on there always works well, because it always, you know, a lot of banter. Right, so I'm just going to change the battery, guys. It's that time again. One day I'll make a video I don't change the battery, just to get so many questions, it's impossible. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay guys, here we go again. So back on my Skunk Works Heroes questions, and the next question is, most of our little group who chat to each other on Twitter hate Facebook with a vengeance. Hell yes. What do you think makes these two social networks so different that someone who enjoys one would never consider joining the other? Interesting question, because there was a time when I wouldn't go on Facebook or Twitter. I had no interest in them. And when you're on the outside, Twitter always looks like people just talking bollocks, which, to be fair, it can be. But, you know, people just randomly tweet, like, I'm just getting out of bed, or I'm just having a cup of tea, or that kind of stuff. But I tried to explain to my dad the other day, the difference, for me at least, with Twitter is that it's a communication tool, and that you can basically just keep contact with your friends around the world any time of the day. And obviously you can do that with Facebook, but for me, Twitter eliminates all the bullshit that comes with Facebook, all the constant adverts and the just mindless shit, like photos of people's kids and crap that I don't give a toss about, and sign this petition and that petition and like this and like that. It's like, fuck off, I ain't got no time. I can't stand Facebook. It's utterly mindless. You know, update your statuses and all that bullshit. To me, Twitter is just an MSN base. It's just a messenger system. It's a really handy little tool, you know, to keep up to date with what's going on in the world quickly, efficiently, to contact your friends and have great conversations like we do. I just can't stand Facebook. I think it's absolutely pointless. I think Zuckerberg's a dickhead. Anyway, are you an early riser? What time do you get up if you don't have anything specific to get up for, and how many hours sleep do you like to get a night? Depends. In the winter I tend to get up later. Depends on what's happening with what I'm doing. If I've got things to do, I have to get up early, I've got no choice. But if I don't have to get up, then it's 9, sometimes 10 o'clock. I prefer not to get up at 10 o'clock because that's ridiculous. And I try and, if that starts happening, I always force myself to put my alarm on so I get up at 7, 8 o'clock. Because I can't be wasting my day, especially when it goes dark at 4 o'clock, because you need more time. I can't stand having a couple of hours of sunlight. And in terms of sleep, 6, 7 hours, you know, sometimes 8, depending. I mean, there are times where I can sleep for like 10 hours straight, depends how knackered I am. But generally, I usually about 6 or 7 is about enough for me. Right, thanks Stu, cheers for that. Okay, have we got any more? Right, I think, oh, that's actually the last question and answer, Shane. Oh well, so just getting enough stride then. Right guys, so there you go, that's it, that's this week's questions. Jeez, I can't speak. So I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I've got a 4,000 subscriber video coming up, because I want to thank you all guys personally, and I want to do a proper video for that, because it deserves it. Other videos coming as well, obviously there's always new content coming on the channel. So if you do have a question for me, as usual, just put it down in the comments below, and next week I'll answer those for you. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps to share the video. Thank you very much for watching guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again next week.